This is the second oil change on this 2020 Kia Sorento. The first one was done around 1,500 miles. The service interval on this model car is not adjustable. It is fixed at 7,500 miles and 365 days. So this oil change has 3,267 miles on it. When you go to reset your service interval, there is no reset button on it. So when you're in the service interval information window, you've got to press the OK button for several seconds. And then you get this, reset time and distance. You can go no or yes. You have no adjustment. And when you select yes and hit OK, you're back to the default, 7,500 miles or 365 days. After you get her up on ramps, you're going to come under it. The entire underbelly has got a really nice cover on it. There are 17 10mm bolts holding it on, and they wrap all the way around it. And there, they just keep coming on around it. Up on the front, they even stagger. You got one here, one here, one here. They kind of go back and forth, as you can see here. A total of 17 to drop it. Okay, on this 2020 4-cylinder, 2.4 liter Kia Sorento, the drain plug size is a 17mm. And I torque it at 35 foot-pounds. Gasket stayed on it. It is a solid aluminum gasket that's fairly thick. Of course, I've only reused it. This will be the second time, but I do have new ones. I bought my oil filter pack. I bought the 6-pack from Amazon, genuine Kia oil filters, and they did specify that it came with 6 new gaskets. If you go ahead and loosen your fill cap, lets a little air get down in there, lets it drain a little bit better. Okay, I'm only using genuine Kia oil filters. This oil filter socket came off Amazon. 904 was some kind of a part number and the brand name. There was a few different ones. The key information on this filter socket is 79mm across. Now, it's hard to measure it. It's hard to measure because there's 15 flats. It's an odd number, but like one guy told me, if you buy one, if it's a little loose, just put a piece of aluminum foil in there. It'll make up the difference. If you have to, add 2 pieces. It fits like a glove. You can't get a better fit for an oil filter socket. One downside about this socket: this hole is a 1/2-inch drive, so you need an adapter. You don't need an adapter if you're doing your oil changes with a 1/2-inch drive ratchet, or a strong arm, but I am not. I like to use 3/8-inch ratchets, extensions, stuff like that when I'm doing oil changes, because you're not talking any torque, so to speak. So put your adapter in there. Now your 3/8. Got a little bitty can here because it's going to make somewhat of a mess. Usually. Here we go. But after you get it up on ramps and you get your cover removed, your underbelly, I'm just really impressed with the access of everything here. Well, the latest oil filter part number is a 26300-35505. But they come nicely boxed, and you even got a plastic cover. Just be careful removing this plastic cover that you don't leave any in it. sure it all comes off in one piece like that. You don't want any up here in the good parts. Now I'm just going to get my finger with a little bit of that oil dripping out of the oil pan yet. We're just going to snug it for now and then wipe it off really good because I got some oil on it. I like this. I like everything here as clean as I can get it. You see the genuine Kia oil filters and Hyundai oil filters have a hologram on them. It's pretty cool. Don't over tighten. Just now started dripping. I got drained a long time. Okay, we're down to a drip. Make sure your gasket's on it. We set our torque wrench at 35 foot-pounds. It's been a pretty good number for me, especially on the steel oil pan. If you're dealing with aluminum oil pans, check your OEM specs on that torque setting, because you can run into a lot of problems if you don't. It has one indicator pin to kind of get you, it helps you get started here. You don't want it out here where it could catch wind, see? So it's going to tuck up underneath it, just like this. "17 bolts is a lot to line up. You definitely don't want to tighten up anything until you get them all in. Now this is going to the inner fender panel, splash panel, whatever you want to call it, in here. Funnels is kind of a personal thing. I keep these in a cabinet so they're relatively clean. I'll still wipe them out. I like to pick one that fits into the neck really good. This is a 5-quart container. We started her up for about a minute, backed it off the ramps. We want to check and see where we're at. I get mine right on the full mark. Be very careful not to overfill. So hit it on the low side and then add to it. Much easier. Okay, I'm going to get it right on the full mark. I'm going to be adding just a little bit more to it. You can always add to it, just don't overfill it. One of the last things to do, but very important, is to come on down under it and check for leaks. If it's a drip, you'll see it. If it's a bad leak, it'll jump right out at you. If you torque your drain plugs Use a good aluminum gasket on it, or copper, whichever is OEM. Torque it to specs. Don't abuse tightening your oil filter. I've never had a leak. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask in the comment section. And thanks a lot for watching, and have a good one.